welcome to World War G. I'm Troy.
Troy is literally one of a kind. He's a goblin or a hobbit or a kobold, which is a type of gremlin.
I'm AJ.
Your name's just letters. You suck, AJ.
Okay. Well, I guess I should ask how you been. It's been a week. Figured do a little check-in here.
Great. I got that new monitor for the arcade unit that I've got set. So I still need to assemble it and put it in.
So just reset, because I don't think we talked about this. This is one of those
4 foot tall arcade 1-up machines.
Right.
That everybody and their dog seems to be selling at Walmart and all these other bigger stores. Right. I'd gotten one from work that I got cheap that somebody had returned, and I was just like, let me get it. I need a screen because they'd punched it. So I'm replacing the screen.
Well, they claim that the screen got broken.
Right. But you can clearly see a fist mark on in the screen, and they waited 3 weeks and then said hey, when they dropped it off, it was broken. All right. Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But that I haven't had much time for gaming, really, and working away. How about yourself?
Been fine.
The GF is on a vacation, so
yeah.
GF's
not even in the country. She's off the coast of Mexico and enjoying herself on a cruise. Left me here all alone, but it's fine, whatever.
All by myself.
You know what? It's fine because in February, turnabout is fair play. I'm going to Disneyland. So
boom.
And she's staying here. So you know what? Too bad.
Are you going with the family or just...
Yes.
Okay.
I'm going with my mom, my aunt, and my uncle.
Okay.
So me and 3 senior citizens at the happiest place on earth.
That needs to be like a sitcom.
Right?
Yeah.
Or at least it sounds like
me plus 3 senior citizens.
Yeah. At least it sounds like a movie.
It does. You're going to have some awesome stories for the podcast when you get back.
Oh, I'm sure I will. I've actually... I've allocated some time. I said, look, if I'm going...
Yeah.
I want a few hours, one of those days, to just be by myself.
Right.
I just want to walk around Disneyland, taking pictures.
Do my own thing.
Yep, the rest of you just fuck off for a bit.
Right.
Just me.
Right.
That was my caveat.
Are you driving out there?
No.
Okay.
Flying.
Okay, good. I was going to say, that's a long-ass road trip.
It'd be about 12...
Yeah.
13, 14 hours to get out there.
Well, I can do it in 9, but yeah, No, actually, my best time, because I got to Vegas, it took me 6 hours, and then I guess it was to LA, it took me altogether just under 12.
Yeah. There are long, because I've driven out to Vegas, there are long stretches there where there is not a policeman in 100 miles.
No.
So you can just
floor it. Yeah. Actually, some of the... So you know how they have that... it's not a contest necessarily, but they have that thing where it's just who can get across the United States the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
And they strategically plan their trips and stuff. When the pandemic hit, yeah, there were so many people breaking records left and right.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
The best time, well, this was when I was a courier back in the day. Me and this other guy, we were coming back from Salt Lake. We were driving back in 2 separate vehicles, and we'd usually race to see who would be back to the warehouse first.
Mm-hmm.
And when that trolley shooting happened, dude, record time. We got back I know it's horrible to say.
You don't want to be around that area.
No, all the cops. No, I'm just saying all the cops were at Trolley Square.
Oh, okay.
So there's no cops on the freeway or a highway or anywhere. Yeah. We hauled ass back.
Okay.
Yeah, it takes a tragedy to like get a record time.
That's what you were doing, huh?
Yeah.
I was actually at my grandma and grandpa's house watching a jazz game
Oh, okay.
during
I thought you were gonna say like we were at Disneyland. My grandparents this time.
Yeah.
Does your mom even like to ride roller coasters?
No, but Disneyland isn't really roller coaster. I mean, California Adventure is.
Right.
It has one or two, but Disneyland, for the most part, isn't.
It's kind of slower.
Thrill
More
rides.
you take it. Yeah. That's true.
Plus, I mean, we're going to be in February, so maybe there's going to. I don't know. Maybe they'll do something for Valentine's Day. I don't know. I've never been there in February, so.
No, you typically you go there for Christmas or for Halloween. Right?
Which I've never done either.
Okay.
Yeah. Anytime I've gone, it's always kind of been on the off season.
Less people?
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to how does it taste?
How does that taste? How does that taste? How does it taste?
So Mountain Dew, is like the Oreo of drinks because it's just going crazy with all these different flavors.
Have you seen those Oreo cookies, the Muse, that are selling for a couple $1,000?
The Pokemon?
Oreos, yeah.
Yeah.
That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Find one of the. Have you been looking? Did you buy a box?
No. I saw them at work for a second.
Right.
Then they were gone.
I saw them at Walmart the first day, then never again.
Why? What? Okay. It's fine. It's fine. Fine. People are stupid. So we have two different flavors of Mountain Dew here. We have Mountain Dew Thrashed Apple. Or I should say Thrashed Apple! And then Mountain Dew Voodoo.
Just in time for Halloween.
Mm-hmm. So, which one of these should we try first?
I feel like Voodoo because it's a mystery flavor, and our palates won't have been tainted by the apple.
Tainted by
Nobody
the apple.
wants that apple taint.
They don't.
I was talking to you before the episode that someone was making an apple pie with this thrashed apple on TikTok.
On TikTok. It looked gross.
It's like, we've got fucking apples.
Yeah. Well, because he was on an island, so we don't have apples, so I'm going to use it. No, we live in the U.S., you and I. We're going to use apples.
Right.
Thank you very much. All right. So this is Mountain Dew Voodoo. Like I said, it's a mystery flavor. Sniff it.
What does it smell like?
I'm getting bubble gum?
Yeah.
I'm getting a very fruity taste. Or smell.
Smarties or something? Sprees?
I smell bubble gum.
Okay. I taste the Mountain Dew in there, and that's why I'm trying to detect what the other flavor is in the mix.
It's like I said, it's a very fruity flavor. I can't quite place it though. It's not citrus.
No.
I keep coming back to bubble gum or something.
Bubblegum, cotton candy, something
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, some sort of candy like that. I wonder if it says online what it is.
I'm sure somebody's already figured it out, right?
Probably. Mountain Dew Voodoo flavor. Here we go. Flavor for Halloween.
I'm reading all the ingredients to see if I can figure it out.
Oh, flavor yet to be revealed by Mountain Dew. They have not revealed what the flavor is yet.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
Like you were saying, I'm getting like a cotton candy or a bubble gum or something like that.
Troy swirls around the bottle, gargles it a little bit.
Gotta swish it around a little bit.
The flavors,
Hit all the points of the palate.
All the notes.
It's got to be some kind of candy. That's what I'm guessing. It's got to be some kind of candy. All right. Mountain Dew Thrashed Apple.
He just left like a pack of bubble gum, Bubblicious gum or something in a Mountain Dew for a month, then drank it.
Or excuse me, Mountain Dew
Thrashed apple!
See, I gotta say that because that's what it looks like this apple's doing on
It really does.
Ooh, that's apple-y.
Oh, that is.
My COVID nose is really fucking up that flavor.
Really?
Yeah. I do not taste apple.
Oh, it's that artificial apple flavoring.
That does not taste good to me. Ooh. No. No. Yeah, my screwed up taste buds does not like that. So you're gonna have to describe what that tastes like.
Tastes exactly like
it tastes like literal apple taint to me.
Jolly Rancher.
Oh, okay.
And it's pretty spot on to that. Did you ever have back in the day this is a throwback, the Slimer High C?
Ecto Cooler.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's pretty close to that.
Okay.
It even looks like it. It's very fluorescent.
Yes, very green. All right. I also have a surprise taste test for us.
Oh wow! Okay.
Even though it's not really like a taste test, but because 'tis the season.
Yes. Oh snap!
Just for fun, Reese's Peanut Butter Pumpkin.
Oh, we have to give out 1 out of 5 apples.
Oh yeah. I was too excited for the Reese's. Well, me, that's a 0 because that's gross.
For myself personally, I feel like I could actually drink that easier than the Voodoo. The Voodoo, I'm like a couple of sips, I'm like, I'm good. But I definitely like the Thrashed, so I'd probably give it about a 3.
Okay.
The Voodoo, I'm sitting at maybe a 2.
Yeah, I was also gonna do a 2 for the Voodoo.
Okay.
Mountain Dew Voodoo 2. It's fine. I just think Mountain Dew just needs to relax.
Yeah.
Relax on the flavors there.
Stick to putting, Avengers characters on your cans or something in there.
Let's just do that, and we'll all be happy and fine.
Yes.
This, on the other hand, oh yeah.
Now, I had this debate with somebody, and they were telling me that the pumpkins are by far the best. I personally, out of all the Reese's, I personally think that it's got to be, the footballs. The pumpkin's pretty close because it seems like peanut butter gets in all the nooks and crannies. You get those bat ones where there's a lot of, chunks of chocolate on the ends, and then it throws off the whole chocolate to peanut butter ratio. But that's just one person's humble opinion.
To me, it's either the Reese's Christmas trees,
yeah,
or the Easter eggs.
See, but the Christmas Easter egg makes perfect sense because it's practically a circle. There's no spot for it to just be a solid piece of chocolate. See, look at that chocolate.
Okay, yeah, but you still got a ton of peanut butter there.
Very true. No, it's they're all great.
And it's not like Reese's chocolate is bad.
You know what really disappointed me though is I went to the grocery store when they first came out with that Reese's peanut butter in a jar, I bought 2 bottles. I bought one for my brother Logan because he's a huge that's what all he wants for Christmas. His stocking used to be just full of Reese's Pieces and Reese's peanut butter cups. So I bought him a jar of peanut butter, thinking it was going to be the peanut butter that's actually inside of these. No, it's just regular peanut butter.
Right.
Like, what the hell?
Yeah. I don't think that peanut butter in there is like peanut butter as we know it. Know what I'm saying? I think, it's peanut butter
with like peanut butter with like powdered sugar
or something
mixed together.
Because there are like granules in there. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not just plain smooth peanut butter.
No, it's crunchy for sure, but a little bit smoother.
There's something in there. But yeah, I saw those. I had to pick them up because, so good.
Good call.
Yeah, thank you.
Reese's peanut butter cups or Cadbury eggs?
Oh, peanut butter cups.
Okay.
All day, every day.
Just making sure.
Cadbury eggs can lick my brown eye. English don't know what they're doing with chocolate.
Like, leave it to America.
I want American chocolate. I want Reese's, I want Hershey's, and that's it.
But Hershey's and Reese's, I think the chocolate actually has like a lot of wax in it.
That's what makes it good.
The wax makes it good.
The wax makes it very good. Actually, the Hershey chocolate bar is my absolute favorite candy bar.
What?
Yeah.
There's nothing in it.
I know.
It's just a chocolate bar.
I know. It's as basic as you can get, but man, I can polish off one of those.
Yeah, no problem. And okay.
Even like the big XL ones, I've been known to down that whole thing.
Just sitting there, especially if you're like watching a movie or doing something else and I'm paying attention, all of a sudden it's gone. You're
it's gone.
Oh. See, I'd much rather have like a symphony bar or something else.
See, that's just... Yeah. To me, that chocolate's just too busy.
Right.
There's too much going on. I just want normal, plain chocolate. You want to throw an almond or something in there? Fine. I'm cool with that.
But not a peanut. No, that's crazy talk.
No, you can throw a peanut in there. Peanut or two, but I'm just saying plain chocolate bar. Just something so...
Not like a Snickers or...
No, I love a Snickers.
Okay.
I love Snickers. I love like Nestle Crunch, 100 Grand, all those.
Twix,
but I'm saying my favorite is a Hershey chocolate bar.
I did not know this.
I know, it's weird.
I'll never look at you the same.
Fair enough.
So, now let's get to Today in Geek History.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
It's Today in Geek History!
Today, September 26th, in 1957, West Side Story opened in theaters on Broadway for the very first time ever.
The play.
Correct.
West Side Story. Nice. Have you ever seen West Side Story?
I have. Yes.
I have not, oddly enough.
Really? The theater guru?
I know, the theater kid?
Yeah.
I know, I've never seen it.
Another thing you might not know about Troy is he loves the theater.
I do.
And a good play.
I've been in several.
Yeah.
I've seen them and been in them.
And behind the scenes as well?
And behind the scenes, yeah. I was on stage crew as well.
Favorite role?
Favorite role I ever had?
The Hunchback.
I could play the fuck out of the Hunchback.
Or like the Phantom? Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, easy.
I can't sing worth shit, but I'd...
Swinging from the rafters and stuff?
I played this was at the Black Box Theater in Salt Lake. I played a dead Elvis impersonator who had OCD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my favorite...
And we were all sitting... There's 4 of us, and we were all sitting there waiting to go into heaven.
That is so odd.
It was fun.
What was the name of the play?
I don't remember. It was written by a local playwright.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went and seen locally. I went and seen Dirty Rotten Scoundrels.
Mm-hmm.
That was a fantastic play. Like, it was a lot better than what I was expecting it to be. The other one that I saw that was really good was Into the Woods. That was put on by one of the high schools here, but they go all out, dude. Like they wardrobe, costume,
Was
set
it,
design. Bonneville?
Bonneville.
Yeah. They put on a show.
Yeah.
Right?
I saw Guys and Dolls at Bonneville High. That was really good.
Where they'll actually put up on billboards, like letting everybody know the dates on them.
I was so jealous of Bonneville when I was in high school.
Yeah.
Plays. Because we were like...
The budget school.
We were.
Yeah.
We were doing plays on an extreme budget, and they were like you said, on billboards, and like
actually had
we had
professional
18 people
set
show up.
designing people,
Yeah.
and it's just the kids sitting there back there in arts and crafts.
I would have killed to be in that drama class. It's fine.
Also today, I was going to ask you, but I think I've asked you before, like your favorite play of all time.
Phantom of the Opera.
Is it really?
Mm-hmm.
It's a classic. That's pretty solid.
Or
I really want to see I've seen Les Mis, but I want to see Lion King in New York. That'd be really cool.
Yeah, Phantom of the Opera or Les Mis, that's up there. Sweeney Todd, I really like Sweeney Todd.
You, sir, too, sir. Welcome to the grave.
Because it's just so dark and creepy and twisted.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. I even didn't mind the Johnny Depp one version.
No, me neither.
It kind of reminded me a little bit of like V for Vendetta, kind of that stylized theatrical blood.
Yeah. When
he's like slashing everybody up. But Johnny Depp could actually hold a tune.
Yeah.
Like much better than Russell Crowe in Les Mis.
Yes.
That was, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody else did a fantastic job. I was just like, could have picked somebody else, but all right. I was actually like, I laughed a little too loud in the theaters when he splatted.
Yeah. I basically thought, oh, thank God, he's dead.
Mine would probably have to be Scrooge or White Christmas. We watch that every single year. My family does for Christmas. It's kind of a tradition. So I've seen it a million times. I know all the songs.
Mm-hmm.
It's great.
Okay.
Also today in geek history.
Look, up in the sky, it's a bird.
It's a plane!
Today in geek history.
September 26, 1969. America's television audience heard the soon-to-be famous opening lines. Here's a story of a lovely lady who was bringing
Brady
up her
Bunch.
loveliest little girl. Yeah.
Brady Bunch debuted today,
Yes.
huh? Nice.
Yeah.
I like the Brady Bunch.
I was never like a huge fan. I mean, I got the whole reference, the Marsha. I watched some episodes, but...
I was a big classic TV fan.
Yeah.
I still am.
That's why you loved WandaVision so much, dude.
Yeah.
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 It was like a throwback here. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of I Love Lucy and Dick Van Dyke Show and Andy Griffith Show and Brady Bunch, all those. Yeah. I didn't realize it debuted in 69. I thought it was more
Older?
of like mid-70s or something.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting. Debuted the same year my mom graduated high school.
Well, there you go.
All right. Anything else?
Nope.
That it? Excellent. All right. Then let's get to This Week in Geek.
This weekend.
Geek.
So, I thought it'd be kind of fun. I found this list, and this isn't Everybody Loves a List.
No.
No. We save that for special occasions.
Exactly.
No, this I found on mentalfloss.com, and these are 50 movies that Roger Ebert,
Yes.
famous film critic, absolutely hated. So I thought I'll go through the list and
See if we agree or not.
Yeah.
Is that peanut butter?
I think it is. I'm not going to go through all 50, obviously, but we'll just... oh, my gosh. Holy crap.
Troy's dying over here. Need some more of the voodoo. He went to like reach for the apple and then like nope.
No.
Voodoo it is.
You know what I need? Hang on.
Damn, he's cracking a cold one.
Oh, there we go. That's what Daddy likes.
A nice cold Pepsi.
All right. So the first one out of the gate here, The Usual Suspects. He gave 1.5 stars.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
Never
Gave 1 star. Armageddon, he gave 1 star, which that makes sense.
Yeah.
Armageddon,
It's a
crap film.
Yeah.
Friday the 13th, Part 2.
Yeah.
Spice World,
Yeah.
Gave half a star. My brother dragged me to Spice World
Really?
because he was obsessed with the Spice Girls.
I had a pen pal back in the day that was obsessed with the Spice Girls, so I mailed him a book.
Got a pen pal?
Yeah. Back in elementary school,
Okay.
we'd like write letters back and forth. He was over, I want to say like Scotland or Ireland, and we wrote for like a while. It was just
How does one get a pen pal?
So they were just like they had like this huge list, and you could just sign up if you wanted to be a pen pal with somebody, and they did that in another country as well. And my teacher just said like, "Hey, anybody want a pen pal?" I'm like, "Sure, all right, I'll write a letter." So I wrote back and forth, and we were talking about different things, and he said, "Oh, I love the Spice Girls; they're my favorite." And then the book fair came in, and they had like a Spice Girls book, and so I bought it for him and mailed it to him.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, that's something that's completely been extinct or gone extinct. Pen pal.
That's the 90s for you.
Hocus Pocus, he only gave 1 star.
Ooh, it's not that bad. It's not like fantastic, and I know it gets a lot more praise from people, but it's hyped up a little bit more than what it should be.
Yeah. If you look at it on the whole as an actual film, it's not. It's not great.
It's all right.
Tommy Boy gave 1 star.
Okay.
Let's see.
R.I.P. Christopher Farley.
Right. Thor, 2011, gave 1.5 stars.
Agreed. Thank you. I've been saying this for years.
This is what he said about it. The story might perhaps be adequate for an animated film for children, with Thor, Odin, and the others played by piglets. Wow. In the arena of movies about comic book superheroes, it is a desolate vastation. Nothing exciting happens, nothing of interest is said, and the special effects evoke not a place or a time, simply special effects. Wow. I agree, it's not the MCU's strongest film.
No.
Jesus.
He went after it. He like grabbed a thesaurus and like took it down.
Charlie's Angels.
Yeah.
Gave a half star.
Although I'll never forget that one scene where she
Cameron Diaz
answers the door, the booty shake. Yeah.
Cameron Diaz was fucking hot back in the day.
She was.
Wow. In The Mask when she first appeared, in the bank. Oh my god. Anyway, let's see what else we got here. The Love Guru, 1 star. Yeah.
I only saw half that movie on an airplane, and
Yeah.
I was like, "This is trash. What the hell am I watching?"
North, 0 stars. Death to Smoochie, half star. Saving Silverman, half star. I like Saving Silverman. Have you ever seen it?
Yes, I have. Yeah. Where they have to save him from that chick. Yep.
With Jason Biggs, Steve Zahn, and Jack Black, where they play Neil Diamond impersonators. It's good. It's a funny film. The Jazz Singer, speaking of Neil Diamond, that he gave 1 star. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, gave 1 star.
Do not go in there.
Said most of the people look as if they would rather be in other movies. The movie basically has 1 joke, which is Ace Ventura's weird, nerdy strangeness. If you laugh at this joke, chances are you laugh at Jerry Lewis too. And I can sympathize with you even if I can't understand you. I found the movie a long, unfunny slog through an impenetrable plot. Kids might like it. Real little kids.
Do people really give what he has to say much weight?
Oh, yes.
Really?
They did, yes.
They live and die by this?
Oh, yes. He's dead now, so.
He was like the Rotten Tomatoes back in the day.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, half star. That one makes sense. Godzilla, that 1998 one.
Yeah.
1.5 stars.
Although I did like it better than the newer ones.
Really?
Yeah, I really honestly did. I
Wow. That's crazy to me.
thought Brendan Fraser did a decent job with it.
Brendan Fraser, he wasn't in
Or not Brendan Fraser, what's his bucket? Ferris Bueller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I just forgot his name. Fuck. Matthew Broderick.
Yes.
Yeah. Battlefield Earth, half star.
Most of these are making sense.
The Hot Chick, half star.
Yeah.
VHS, half star.
He had to watch a lot of movies.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, I mean, it was his job. You know?
Right.
The Human Centipede, 0 stars.
Blech. Have you seen that movie?
No. I know what it's about. I've seen clips.
Ugh.
Let's see. What else is here? We're almost done. We're almost through the list. Seems there's just anything interesting we talk about. Mr. Magoo, half star.
Oh, that was an awful movie.
Jason X, half star. See, I think rating horror films low, I mean, I think that's just easy to do. I mean,
Right.
horror films,
They're already
by nature,
horror movies.
yeah, they're not
films.
good.
Right. Although I'm really disappointed. There's this one that I saw in theaters that I thought was pretty decent, The Werewolves Within. It still hasn't come out on Blu-ray or DVD. The only way you can get it is digitally.
Okay. This one I don't agree with. The Ghost in the Darkness, half star. With Val Kilmer and Michael Douglas. We've talked about it before.
Yes.
Hunting Lions.
Yes.
I really liked that movie. I think
it was
it's
good.
Yeah, I think it's really good. And then
It was very suspenseful.
yeah, I don't know. I think it was really entertaining. And then the very last one, number 50, Christmas with the Cranks, 1 star.
Fair enough.
There you go.
I'd like to see what he actually gave, like 100% or 5 stars. You know what I mean? Like you get that side, and you're like, okay, I kind of get to see somebody's taste when they say, "Oh, I hate this movie, I hate this movie, I hate this movie." But then you also want to see like what they thoroughly enjoyed, whether it was just like Oscar bait stuff, or if it was actually legit, like really good movies.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if I could find some of the films that he liked. 10 Greatest Movies of All Time by Roger Ebert. Casablanca. Okay, fair enough. Citizen Kane. Okay, fair enough. Those first two, everybody says those are the best movies of all time. It's very basic. Floating Weeds. Never heard of that. Gates of Heaven. Never heard of that. La Dolce Vita. Never heard of that. Notorious. Alfred Hitchcock movie. Raging Bull. Okay. Fair enough. The Third Man. I saw that. Ugh. Third Man. That movie sucks. 28 Up. 2001 A Space Odyssey. Yeah, those were his favorite films. So there you go.
Not gonna lie, I mean, he wouldn't be the end-all, be-all for me, like, as far as movies go.
Oh, he was back in the day, man. People, they lived or died by his reviews.
Which would really suck for, like, a film creator, you know? You have to, like, wait and hear all these other reviews on your film. Like,
Yeah.
Oh, I hated it. It was an atrocity, an abomination, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, now there really isn't like one film critic where everybody looks to.
Because it seems
Now
like
it's
everybody
just-
has like a voice.
Yeah.
Right?
Now you just go quickly check Rotten Tomatoes and see what the percentage is.
Or Metacritic, and they have all those like whenever you look up a movie, they automatically have those 3 different reviews at the bottom of it.
Yep.
Speaking of, I guess, films, Netflix has released the full trailer for Britney Spears documentary premiering next week. It's only 1 day away, or 2 days away, excuse me. Britney vs. Spears will debut on Netflix September 28th. The next day, September 29th, marks a most significant court hearing for her to date. This is the one where she's going to try to get custody and ownership of her money from Jamie Spears, her father. It's very timely that they drop it like the day before, right? This big, huge court case.
Yeah.
Which it could play in her favor, or because then it would get a lot of people supporting her and kind of rallying that.
Well, have you kind of been keeping up with this story? Like, do you follow her on like Instagram and stuff?
I don't follow her.
It's interesting.
Really?
Yeah. There are a lot of people on her side, like Free Britney, like that's a whole like movement.
Oh yeah.
On Instagram, and she has posted some really, really strange things
that make you like question and wonder what
you wonder if she's okay, like her mental state. Like you wonder if she's okay. It seems like lately she's gotten a lot better. She's been posting nearly nude pictures, which has been fun for my inner 14-year-old boy.
Now that she's what, almost 50? But if she's still rocking
almost 50. She's maybe...
How old is she? How old do you
early
think
40s.
You think so?
She's not that much older than us, dude. Britney Spears' age. Yeah, she's 39.
Oh. Alright, fair enough.
She was born in 81. She's as old as the GF.
There you go. In the trailer, she did have this to say, like, fleeting words. It was, I just want my life back.
Look.
At 40, she's wanting her life back. That's crazy to me.
Well, I don't think she's really been in control of her life.
No.
Since she was, like, 18. Yeah. My feeling is, she seemed a little crazy.
Yeah.
Like there is,
whole shaving the head kind of. Well, she went off the deep end. It wasn't just shaving her head that made her like appear crazy. It was like all these different like stunts that she would do, and you'd hear about her in the news at these like bars and yeah,
that was when she kind of hit rock bottom. She seems a little mentally unstable, but at the same time, it's her money.
Right.
She's earned it. She's the one that was out there on stage performing. She's the one that raked all that in. So whether she's going to spend it in crazy land or not, I feel she deserves that money.
Yeah, I do as well. It'll be interesting to see all the dark stuff that we didn't know about that was going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And what led up to this. To me, this feels like really reminiscent because she's a huge pop icon.
Yes,
right?
she is.
In my eyes, I mean, she's probably not like Michael Jackson status, but she's pretty damn close.
She's pretty close.
Right?
Yeah, she's one of the biggest pop icons of the last 25 years. That's for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. So it feels like where Michael Jackson kind of just went more on medication and kind of like medicating himself to get through day-to-day living. She actually wants to like be in control of her life and do whatever she wants to do.
Yeah.
What direction do you think that she'll like continue in music or release some sort of a new album, or what she's like, say she wins her court case and gets complete custody of her own life and her money.
Yeah.
What is she gonna do? What's her move?
I don't think she's gonna do new music. It kind of seems like she's done with that.
Okay.
She just got engaged to her boyfriend.
Think she could be on like The Voice or one of those kind of shows?
Maybe.
Go that direction?
She just kind of seems like she's just enjoying her life right, or trying to.
Right.
In just enjoying
Which would be
her life.
difficult where everybody controls every aspect of your life.
Yeah, exactly.
Hmm.
Yeah, she
Is that the price of fame, or is that the price of fame and controlling family
I think that's the
members?
price of fame for her.
Right.
I don't know the full story. I don't know if she was in control of her money until she went all crazy, then somebody took over for her, or
Right.
it's always been that way. I don't know.
No, I'm not sure either. That's why it'll be interesting. I'm sure like a ton of people will be watching this documentary.
So, just show you a couple of her Instagram posts. Okay, so there's that one.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
There's that one.
Yeah. Huh?
Completely different. Mhm.
Yeah.
There's that one.
What?
All the same picture, right?
Yeah.
Just different filters. Yep. There's
And those are on different days too, huh?
yeah. There's
Any caption or anything?
yeah, I mean she writes some nonsense. I don't know.
Yeah.
So there's that one posing by this tree.
Okay.
Okay. There's this one posing by that same tree. There's she posts a lot of dance videos. There's this one posing by that same tree.
Okay. Is she the? Does it look like she's actually taking that picture?
No, she's not taking that picture.
It's somebody else,
Yeah.
right? Like her fiance, perhaps.
That's what
Or
most people think. There's that one.
where he's like taking it from like standing up, like she's like down
Mhm.
on her knees almost.
Again, same outfit by the same tree.
Is she alive?
That's what people are wondering. Like, what is going on?
Is this like Weekend at Bernie's kind of shit?
I'm saying, man. That's why people are kind of worried about her. There's
Hashtag check her pulse. Free Britney.
yeah, hashtag is she dead? Yeah, different post, different day,
Same tree.
same tree, same outfit.
Yeah.
Like that's just what people are like. What the fuck is going
Yeah.
on?
Is this like
Different, same outfit,
okay?
different
But
day.
she's at least moving.
Yeah, that's kind of a video. Like it's
This is eerie.
it's bizarre.
Yeah.
It's really bizarre. And then
How bizarre. How bizarre.
and then lately, she hit this run where she's kind of been posting not nude pictures of herself, but close. Like this one.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah.
Which, not bad. This one.
Oh damn. Okay.
Yeah. She's doing it as kind of a way to being like, she's free.
Right. But is this really like good to do when you're so close to a court date?
I don't know. Look. So those pictures I was showing you were like months and months ago. There's that one again.
Oh my hell.
The same
This is getting-
fucking picture,
This
right?
is getting weird.
Isn't it creepy?
Yeah, it's kind of creepy.
Yeah. So it's been fascinating following her on Instagram and learning about this story. Like it is interesting. I do like the nude photos though. I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, the 15-year-old boy in me that first discovered her is cheering. The 36-year-old man is like, "Are you okay? Is everything? Blink if you need help, Brittany."
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with that. Yeah.
True. What the hell? Okay. That and on that caption, she's just like, "Here's a video so you guys can see this is really my ass. Peach emoji, peach emoji, peach emoji. No filter or cover up. It's the real deal. Psh, I shoot myself with a selfie stick, so I always will."
Yeah, every time she posts something, people are like, "Is that really you? Are you Was it your idea to take this picture, or was it somebody else's
Here's my
idea?
ass. Winky face. Peach emoji. Exclamation point. Exclamation point.
And so people in the comments were like, "That's not really her. That's not really her ass. That's not blah blah blah." So she had to post this other one.
This is kind of cryptic. She just like put a post up here where it said, "If stars were meant to worship, so will I."
I'm telling you, it's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. But that being said, I think she should have control of her money.
Yeah.
Let her blow it all on pills and whatever. But it's hers to blow. That's what she said. All right. I have a little James Bond news for you.
Okay.
I know you're a big fan.
That I am.
So, everyone knows that James Bond of Her Majesty's Secret Service has the distinction 007. James Bond actually has a military rank as well. He's a commander in the Royal Navy. Commander Bond. They often call him.
In the books, I've never heard it in the movies.
Have they ever called him that in the movies? I don't know. You'd know better than I would.
Maybe Sean Connery's? No, I don't know.
Well, while many actors who portrayed Bond have been knighted, like
Yes.
Sean Connery,
Right.
only Daniel Craig can say he has the same rank as his on-screen counterpart, honorary, of course. So, according to the official announcement, Craig received the appointment to honorary commander due to his, quote, personal support for HM Armed Forces and links it with the legacy created through the guise of fictional British secret agent James Bond. So he was given the military rank of commander in the Royal Navy. And there's a picture of him in his uniform.
Full attire and decked out. That's pretty legit.
Good for him.
That's way cool. I like when they do that. They don't do anything really that cool. The coolest thing that they do here in the U.S. is give somebody a star.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't really get to be knighted unless you're...
There are Americans who haven't been officially knighted.
Yes.
Because you have to be English, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
But there are those that are as good as, like, I think one is Steven Spielberg.
Oh, okay.
He's kind of been given that honor.
And they spend a lot of time over there as well?
Well, no, just because...
their contribution to...
Most people are knighted because of their contribution to the...
the arts.
Or the country of the UK itself, or, you know...
I'd like to see, like, we'll have to look it up, like, off the air. I'll probably look into it to see Americans that have been knighted.
We could do that for our DLC.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
Let's do that.
So, Tiger King 2 is coming back to Netflix. The documentary that sucked in an entire nation during the early months of the pandemic is coming back for a season 2.
Okay, fine. They're letting them all out of the trailer park again.
Right. Joe Exotic.
I don't know what they're going to do because, first of all, he's still in prison.
He is.
Second of all, everybody else from that show kind of moved on to other things.
Carol is psycho as it gets.
Yeah.
And she killed him. Absolutely. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Killed him and fed him to the big cats.
Yep. Yeah, they've kind of moved on to other projects. They've had their 15 minutes of fame, and they've used it to like jump into something else. I don't think we need this. No, perhaps like if he ever gets out, because he's supposed to get out of jail in like 20-something years, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Or he has like a parole hearing. I don't know.
Maybe that's what this is. Maybe it's him trying to appeal his sentence, or
he's currently serving a 22-year sentence for hiring a hitman to kill Carol Baskin.
Carol Baskin. Well, with most sentences, with good behavior, you can get out in like about half your time normally.
Yeah.
So 11 years, maybe.
But this seems like they're trying to recapture something. I don't think it'll be as big
I don't think so either.
as it once was.
I mean, that was such a flash in the pan thing, and that was a word of mouth. Like, you've got to watch these insane fuckers that race tigers. It's crazy, bro. Something else that's a little crazy that kind of caught the internet on fire. So there's a new Super Mario Brothers movie coming out. This one's animated. Thank God.
Yeah.
Because that's where Mario belongs. And we now have a cast list of who's going to be voicing who. So.
They have officially announced that it is going to be animated?
Yes.
Okay.
It is going to be animated.
Because that would work so much better for them doing crazy, over-the-top stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it would work perfectly. And you've seen the success that Into the Spider-Verse had, right? Do something the same. That's how you can make a video game movie successful.
And I called it like years ago. I think we'd been talking about comic book movies, and I said if they ever do a Mario Bros. Movie again, it needs to be animated.
Exactly.
So here's the cast list. We have Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike, Kevin Michael Richardson as Kamek, Fred Armisen as Cranky Kong, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Which I can see that one.
Same.
Yeah. Keegan-Michael Key is Toad.
I didn't think I could see that at first, but now it makes perfect sense, and it works. Yeah.
Jack Black as Bowser.
Did Bowser really have many lines?
No, but neither did Mario.
In the video games? Yeah, that's true. Well, but Bowser was more...
Yeah, Bowser never spoke, I don't think.
Right.
And I hear Jack Black as a cartoon, I just see Kung Fu Panda.
Same.
I don't see Bowser, but... Charlie Day is Luigi. Anya Taylor-Joy is Peach, the gal from Queen's Gambit. And then here's the one, I don't know, Chris Pratt as Mario.
Right.
Star-Lord himself is going to be Mario. With special cameos, surprise cameos from Charles Martinet, who is the voice of Mario.
Right.
In all the video games. And we were talking, how pissed is Charles Martinet?
You're right. He's not the voice. He's been doing it for so many years, and then they don't give him the movie.
Yeah. Ever since, the whole, it's me, Mario. That's been Charles Martinet.
Yeah.
The whole time.
He's still alive.
Yeah. He was at FanX a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And I know...
because they need star power.
Yes.
Star-Lord power.
Yes. I know, I was going to say that's why they did it. They need names. But the thing is, Mario is so beloved and everybody knows that voice that you try to do something else and I don't think people are going to like it.
Right.
Even if it is Chris Pratt.
This is another kind of a little bit slap in the face similar to Space Jam. Right?
Yeah.
Is that all over again?
Yeah, with Zendaya's Lola.
Well, and not even they only mentioned her. They didn't really mention any of the other voice actors that were doing all the other characters, the iconic characters.
Yeah, the only actual
they don't have as big a star power.
Full-time voice actor in that cast. Well, Charles Martinet, Kevin Michael Richardson.
Yeah,
he's the only one. All the rest are TV and movie stars.
Sure, I can do that. Yeah, that sounds like fun.
Oh, yeah, I can do voice acting is easy. Just walk in the booth, say your lines.
I think Jack Black will be familiar with the process.
I'm sure they're all familiar with the process.
No, after doing a couple of Kung Fu Panda movies and the TV show.
And if you want Jack Black as Bowser, fine.
Right.
That's fine.
Yeah.
But, it like you said, it's just such a slap in the face to Charles Martinet. And I'm sure... he's probably, we say, it's a slap in the face, how pissed is he, but he's probably fine.
Right. If anything, this will only make it so they have more video games and more merchandise. And
But
stuff,
how pissed would he be if they do video games and it's now Chris Pratt as Mario?
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
I recently played the Lego game, the Jurassic World, and it had Chris Pratt in it, and now I'm trying to like picture him as like Mario.
Well, we were saying before we started recording that he's probably going to do some sort of Brooklyn or New York
Walk in
accent.
here.
Yeah. Hey, it's me, Mario.
He says he's been like on Instagram. He had that post where he said that he's been practicing.
Been working on the voice. So
right.
I look at this little figure here that I have of Mario. Do you hear Chris Pratt coming out of this character? Because
No.
I don't.
No, not at all.
No. And he's just such a beloved character. And everybody knows that voice. It's so iconic, and yet they're just fucking with it.
Wait until the trailer, though.
That's true.
Prove us wrong, right?
Prove us wrong. Yep. Yep. Wait and see. I don't have high hopes, but we'll wait and see.
So, something that we are looking forward to.
Yes, very much.
Obi-Wan says that they've finished filming his new series, the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Variety asked Ewan for an interview and asked him if he can confirm that they're done filming. He says, yeah, we're finished. It will not disappoint. Let me get it from himself.
Can you tease any Obi-Wan for us?
Not really. We finished our shooting, our series, and it was really, really good fun. I really enjoyed working with Deborah Chow, and I think it will not disappoint. I mean, I think it's going to be good. I had a really good time making it, and worked with some really wonderful people, lovely people, and the new technology.
He's really careful with his words.
Mm-hmm.
It's a different experience than making the original 3 films that I did, and I really, really liked it. It was good.
So visually,
Thank you so much.
visually, he's saying it's going to be so much better, and it will not be, we will not be disappointed with it.
Here's my guess what they're going to do with this series.
Okay.
My guess is...
Where is it set? When is it set?
It's Tatooine.
Okay.
Luke is a baby because he handed him off to Owen and Beru.
Yes.
We know that. We also know that Obi-Wan looked over Luke as a child.
He did.
So my feeling is it's kind of going to be like he's this Ronin Jedi, wandering from little village to village on Tatooine,
right?
Doing good and trying to stay
under the radar,
right? Because he is a Jedi and wanted by the Empire,
which it would be difficult to do. You're trying to do good, but also fly under the radar so nobody else picks up on it. Because we do know that Luke talks about him later on. He's just like, Obi-Wan, that dude, that nomad,
some crazy old hermit,
right?
Lives out beyond the Dune Sea.
Yeah.
So I think.
But is he going to be? Is that all he did for those years?
That's the thing,
right?
I think that's what they're going to tackle in this series. Is what did he do for those 19 years before we first saw Luke?
Right.
And I
can't imagine him just chilling there in one place.
Of course he did.
Yeah.
So I think he's, like I said, he's this Ronin Jedi that's wandering around Tatooine or the Outer Rim,
Are there any books that are kind of
good
canon on just those years?
I don't remember books. I remember there's a comic book series that was out for a while. I don't know if it's been canonized. Probably not.
Right. They could draw inspiration from some of these other things.
That did follow that storyline. I think it was kind of the same thing. It was just kind of him, staying under the radar and going after underground gangs and stuff like that.
Sounding reminiscent of Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, not going out for bounties at all, but still doing good in these little places, but trying to fly under the radar.
Yeah, just kind of keeping to yourself. I think it's gonna be really good because, man, Ewan McGregor is great as Obi-Wan.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He knocked it out of the park.
I've said it before many times. With all the problems that those prequels had, Ewan McGregor was not one of them.
No. Do you feel like there will be any crossover between him and Boba Fett?
No, but
Perhaps?
I mean, maybe. But they say that Hayden Christensen is coming back as Darth Vader.
Oh.
Like, he may appear.
Damn, that would be legit. That'd be pretty cool.
That'd be interesting. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this series.
Oh,
I mean,
same.
what they did with those first 2 seasons of The Mandalorian was amazing. So if they do that with Obi-Wan, damn, it's going to be an amazing.
Is it going to be
series.
week to week, you think?
I'm sure, yeah. That's what Disney does.
That's what I'm difficult.
I know.
Like, I love watching it and look forward to it, but then you're just
Well, that's how it was when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
Now we've been spoiled
with
binge watching.
Thanks to Netflix and Hulu that's dropping whole seasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. When is that supposed to come out? Does it say?
It did. I think I took it down.
It just says the series is set to premiere sometime in 2022.
Right.
Oh, thanks. Okay, great.
Let's see. Yeah, just 2022. It doesn't have a date at all.
Okay. I'm guessing probably the summer.
Have you had a chance to check out Visions yet?
I just watched the first 2 episodes today.
Oh, okay.
Really good.
Seriously?
Really good.
Okay.
And I'm not an anime fan.
No.
Right? You know that. I'm on record.
Right.
But man, especially that first one, woo-hoo-hoo.
I did see a couple of videos where they were talking about, look at all the influence that they drew from anime and from Japanese culture.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what they did.
There's a ton of crossover.
Yeah. Like that first episode, again, it's this Ronin Jedi, back to Obi-Wan, who's in this village, and they combine the Star Wars universe with, like, Japanese culture.
Yeah.
And it's really cool.
It lends itself pretty well.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
I mean, because
each one is like by a separate artist, right? And a separate film company.
Yeah. I mean, because Jedi are basically, I mean, Lucas drew inspiration from Japanese culture when it came to Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, look at their wardrobes that they're wearing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Darth Vader's helmet looks like an old samurai helmet. So, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Queen Amidala.
Yeah.
Those outfits that she's wearing. Oh, yeah. A lot of them draw an influence from there.
So, yeah, it fits in. It fits in perfectly. Okay, so right now is the point where we would get into Revs and Rex, but like we talked about last week,
we got to finish up the con.
We do. The rest of day 2 and all of day 3. Now, this is where we had a lot of stuff happen.
Yes.
These 2 days.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Yes, and everything in between. So we'll start with day 2. Or finish up day 2, I guess. So I got there kind of early.
Yeah.
Or earlier.
Troy was definitely dedicated. Like when you said that you were going to be there at 8, I'm like, fuck. Like the con doesn't like close until 8 that evening. That's a 12-hour day.
Yeah. Well, you know, I would feel unfulfilled,
right,
if I didn't stay there the entire time.
Yeah, no, I get that. We definitely don't take those tickets, lightly.
Yeah,
the press badges.
Yeah.
We want to maximize everything about them.
Just squeeze every drop of water out of that stone.
Yeah.
So when I got there, you were about an hour and a half behind me because you had some stuff to do. So I went into the grand ballroom and sat in on the Battlestar Galactica panel.
Which I asked you afterwards, had you ever seen the show?
No. Never have. Now, here's the thing. I got a few pictures. I stayed for a little bit to listen. And it was Edward James Olmos and... Fuck me. What was her name? Hang on.
No, I think that was her name.
Fuck me? What Well, she was in Dances with Wolves. Maybe that was her Native American name.
Okay.
That was inappropriate. I apologize.
You're gonna get a mean email.
Yeah. GF's gonna write me now. All right. Let me look at the cast. So it was Edward James Olmos and...
If you do get a chance with Battlestar Galactica, at least check out the miniseries. It was really well done. There's some twists and turns of, not knowing who the alien was.
If I'm going to watch it, I'm going to watch the whole thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mary McDonnell.
Okay.
That's who it was. And they're basically just old hippies.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They both wore masks on stage.
I don't think I saw any other celebrities do that.
No.
And
the reason she gave was, she's like, in this very like wispy voice, like, I want to be with all of you in this moment right now.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Similar to Loretta?
Yeah, like she's just kind of an old hippie. All right, got it. But it was kind of cool listening to
some good picks.
I did. And Edward James Olmos had some cool stories. But again,
do you think that because she was wearing it, he felt obligated to do the same?
Well,
or did it come across like he?
So she put it on, and then Edward said, "Oh, should I put mine back on?" And then Chris Provost, who was doing an interview, said, "It's up to you.
Yeah,
you guys don't have to. It's up to you." And he said, "No, if she's put it on, I'll put mine on." And it's the whole anyway.
Oh wow.
Like I said, because I've never watched the show, I wasn't too invested. Yeah. So I snapped a few pics and I left.
It's nice to listen to their stories, but then when they start getting questions about the show, it's just okay.
Yeah, you can take your exit. Then you showed up.
Yes.
And another panel we went to, which was really interesting, was Adam Savage.
Right.
Who the first time he's been in the con. Now, if you don't know him, he's from Mythbusters. And he does a lot of manufacturing, a lot of building on his YouTube channel. He's a machinist. He
doesn't claim to be a machinist.
He is.
Right, yeah.
He doesn't claim to. He is.
He's pretty handy. If you have a 3,000-pound lathe, at your house. Yeah.
Yeah. I've watched his YouTube channel because I'm a big fan of his. And the shit he does, there's
pretty
no
impressive.
way I could do. Yeah.
I loved how he had so many stories and he was reminiscing about Jamie so much.
Yes. Because the interesting thing with Mythbusters, with Jamie and Adam, they were coworkers. They weren't, and they'll both say, we weren't friends.
Right.
We were just coworkers.
Yeah.
But Adam loved...
that's the same with Troy and I.
Pretty much. We're not friends.
Just coworkers.
Just coworkers. After we wrap this up, we just shake hands. We're like, see you next week.
Yep. Stay geeky.
Stay geeky. See you next week. But Adam really likes to tease him because he was such a serious guy. So it was funny to see some of the stuff that he talked about, this teasing he did off camera.
Right. When Jamie was captain of the ship, kind of a deal, on certain things that they would do that were more nautical related, he would just get into a Jamie mode.
Boat mode.
Yeah, boat mode.
Yeah.
And then he, Adam would tease him.
Yeah. Because he was saying that everything else came second to the boat when he was on the boat.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if you were filming a TV show. If director said you need the boat here, he'd go off somewhere else. It was funny. He was also asked what his favorite explosion was.
Right.
And he said the water heater.
I was surprised. Yeah, that was the one.
It was because I remember that episode, and it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
Because
there's a certain thunk that's associated with it.
He says it's a slow thud. Because they were testing the theory that if a water heater were to explode, would it shoot out
a house?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And spoilers, it does.
Yes.
And it's fast, and I think it went like 200 feet into the air.
He was saying
like
some of these other big explosions, yeah, they're really cool, but like you're holding your breath the entire time because you're dealing with like fucking explosions and things that could blow up, so you're trying to be careful as possible.
Yeah.
You know.
But you're saying that one was so, as odd as it sounds, was so slow that you could really like experience it.
Right. Yeah. He was also talking about his upcoming new video. Like he was tentative to tell us what it was. It was his lock screen picture.
Oh yeah, he has a new costume he's working on.
Right.
Or new cosplay.
So I feel like this is kind of, because I don't know if it's been shown yet. So this might be like you hearing it first from us. It's going to be an astronaut suit. And it's from materials that you could do yourself, and he like breaks it down. He even did a TED talk on cosplay.
Yes, and that's the other thing with Adam is he loves the convention culture.
He does,
loves it
because he embraces it fully.
Yeah, he's a big nerd and geek himself.
He'll even cosplay without people knowing that he's out there.
Yeah. And I was looking at his Instagram, like he wasn't there the third day. Because he was in Dallas doing their convention.
Right.
So
already
he went right from ours to theirs. Yep.
But that's cool that he dropped by.
Yeah. Yeah, so he had a really good panel. And then the panel that blew us away that we were not expecting.
No.
Was a guy named Alan Richson.
Most notable, well, okay, for the Michael Bay Ninja Turtles, he played Raphael. He was also Thad from, was it Blue Mountain State? And then, what was his other character? In the DC universe.
He was Hawk.
Hawk, yeah.
On Titans. So here's the thing. Here's why this was really interesting. The reason we even went to his panel was because
my phone was coming. I didn't get a chance to charge it.
Yeah.
So it was only at like 30 or 40%, and I'm like, damn, it's gonna die. Troy's like, well, why don't we go sit down at a panel? Give us a little break because, man, you walk and walk and walk.
Yeah, we were getting tired.
Yeah.
And I had a portable battery charger.
Right.
And so we sat down like, all right, we'll go check this guy out. And we thought, we'll just be on our phones, just relax here for a bit. No, he got serious and dark.
Yeah.
He has had some really interesting experiences.
And it was weird. It was from a question from the audience that they didn't even ask necessarily about suicide, but he just kind of turned it into that.
Yeah, he told a story where he almost committed suicide because he had these businesses that his business partner was destroying because he wouldn't sleep with her.
Right. She said,
which is crazy.
Yeah. She's like, sleep with me or I'll do this or whatever. And he's just like, no. And then she started destroying everything that he had. But it was also a little bit because he was working 40 hours a day. He was doing this show. He was doing this show. He was getting burnt out. And he's just got to that point where he's just like, man, it would be better if I wasn't here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was really open and honest and raw about the whole thing.
And, I have to say, and I told you this, I kind of prejudged the guy.
Right.
Because you look at him and he's just got that jock look. And he plays a lot of jocks.
He does.
So you think, okay, well, he's just a meathead,
Whenever they just need a bigger dude, they'll call him up.
Yeah, but I was totally wrong. He is an extremely down-to-earth, very well-spoken, intelligent dude.
Oh, yeah. I also really appreciated that he gave us a look into the business and how if you want to get something done, that he was calling Lionsgate every single day trying to get these projects done on a shoestring budget, where typically each one of his episodes, when he was doing, before doing Thadland, which is the movie, they were costing upwards of $3 million an episode. And then he did the whole entire movie where he's also calling people and saying hey, do you have a helicopter that we can use?
Right.
And trying to get all this other stuff.
Yeah, it was really interesting. It was probably one of the better panels we went to.
It was.
So I went to him, and then we took a break from the panels for a while. And here's the other thing. we didn't do a lot of the small. We didn't do any of the small panels.
No.
For whatever reason, it's just
We were looking at some of them, and they just didn't really appeal. No.
Not really. Anyway, so one of the little attractions that was there was Devotion Championship Wrestling.
Right.
Now, these are, as weird as this sounds, an amateur pro wrestling group based here in Utah. And we talked to pretty much kind of the ring announcer.
Yeah.
Whose character kind of dresses like a king.
He sounded completely different when we were actually talking to him and when he was on the mic.
Yeah. Yeah, he had a different persona. But it was like, okay, I've been a fan of professional wrestling for years.
Right.
For a long time, I was a diehard fan. Not so much now. I still look into the business every once in a while. I still kind of keep up with it, you know, through YouTube videos and highlights and stuff. But I'm not as devoted as I used to be.
Right.
Now, so because of that, I know a lot of the in and outs of the business. I know how the sausage is made, basically.
And yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. And I was sitting there watching these guys. I'm like, this is...
damn, this is cringy.
It's a little cringy.
Like, even after the match, when those other two guys came over to, like, pick another fight, and you could tell, like, they were not... Like, it's one thing if it looks fairly real, and you're kind of, like, leaning into the guy and hitting him, but it's another thing if you're just completely missing him, and the person's, like, faking like they're getting, like, hurt.
Yeah. Like, when you're that close to the crowd, like, you can't... You really got to sell it.
You do.
Because that's part of the business, and you got to be a decent actor too to sell your character. And these guys,
that's why I think it, like The Rock and John Cena and some of these guys, they
Stone
were able,
Cold.
they were able to make it into like the movie business.
Yeah,
because you also have to be a showman and you have to be kind of an actor.
Yes. Yep.
So it's still a difficult transition, and not everybody can do it. But at the same time, those that do can do it well.
And you actually had I maybe should have taken this opportunity, but if you paid like $20, you could have gotten into the ring and got like body slammed or something. And I regret it now. I should have done that.
Yeah,
I think it would have been kind of fun. But
I was really half tempted as well, because it felt like on the edge. I don't know if this is like with every mat out there, but on the edge it was like fairly firm. So like if you were to walk up to it and kind of like hit it, it would be like, all right, that's pretty solid. But in the middle of it, it sunk down a little bit, and it looked more almost like a trampoline, but not quite that level.
Yeah. So wrestling rings are basically like, okay, you went to Mount Fort,
right?
Do you remember the apparatus room?
I do. Yeah.
Right.
Ooh, good callback.
Thank you. So basically, it's those gym mats that he had back there. Like, they aren't super, like, fluffy or anything.
That was the one that you could, like, climb up that ladder and then jump off and land on?
Not on those.
Oh.
Although that was really fun.
Yeah.
But it's like tumbling mats.
Yeah.
Gymnastic mats.
Okay.
That's pretty much what those rings are made of. Now, they are soft-ish, but they don't have a lot of give.
If you land wrong, you're still going to hurt yourself.
So, yeah, we checked them out a little bit, and it was...
It was all right.
It was fine.
We did talk about possibly going down there.
Yeah.
And interviewing some of the bigger guys that are actually trying to transition and make it into the... What's the...
AEW?
Yes.
Yeah. And maybe when they're in their element and they're like an arena or something, maybe the matches are a bit more interesting. I don't know. I don't want to prejudge them, but you know. So there's that. So we talked to those guys. What else did we do?
We did get to interview a couple of celebrities. I might have had like a
moment.
So
we teased this last week. So there were 2 stars of MASH there.
Yes.
There was Loretta Swit and there was
Jamie Farr.
Jamie Farr. I couldn't care less about MASH. I've tried. I've watched because my mom and brother are obsessed with it. So I've seen several episodes, and it's just for whatever reason I'm not a fan. But AJ is apparently a massive fan.
Well, I've seen the show a couple of times through. I used to watch it with my grandma and grandpa, and my mom. She loves the show, so we just kind of like grew up watching it.
Sure.
She even has like a Trivial Pursuit game of MASH, which I've only played once, and I lost like horribly.
and that's fine. And
so that was where I had to take the reins and be like, all right, I'm going to ask these questions.
Yeah.
So when I first, we first tried talking to Jamie, was this day 2?
Yes.
When we went up to talk to him, it was at the end of the day. There was nobody else there, and the dude's getting up there in age.
He's 87.
Yeah. So they're like, all right, come back tomorrow. They didn't like give us a no. It wasn't a brush off. It felt like somewhat sincere. But they're like, all right, come back tomorrow when he's a little bit,
Which we've gotten before.
Right.
With like Ralph Macchio and a few other people told us to come back and then tell us to fuck off the next day, essentially.
But it didn't come across like that.
No.
So when we went back and talked to him, they said we had to keep it pretty brief. But I first want to talk about Loretta's interview.
Yes. Talk about old hippies.
Yes. We went up there. We're going to ask a couple of questions. She immediately said, no cameras.
Yep. They want us to film.
Just record, please. Which we're like, all right, that's fair enough. She's been in the business long enough. She can do whatever she wants. And I said, we are here, with Loretta Swit, best known for, and I said, Hot Lips Houlihan. And like, if you IMDb her, or if you even Google her name in there, it says Hot Lips Houlihan, so I was just like playing off of that. I thought I might get a laugh or something. And she's just like, no, it is Major Margaret Houlihan.
Yeah,
I have to
shut you down.
She's like, I have to correct you guys here. And I'm like, oh, fuck. All right. I'm like, oh, don't do this to me, idol.
Like she outranked them. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, she definitely let me know. You'll have to listen to the rest of the interview. I won't go into it.
Yeah.
But she came across really heartfelt, and it was interesting. We even had a moment with her where she's like holding our hands.
Yeah, she was grasping both of our wrists because I think she was talking about, because you had asked her, why has MASH endeared?
Right.
And she said, it's about the people, it's about connections, and that's when she held our wrists. It's about all of us, and like, okay, all right. I mean, that's fine.
And then with Jamie, we're allowed to interview him.
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah, they were pretty. We were really prompt about it and really quick. And they even said like, "Hey, we really appreciate you. Like respecting like the only a couple of minutes." Which that was also a really fun interview. I loved that on the first time that we went to talk to him, I'm just like, hey, I'm a huge fan. Like, I really appreciate all you did. Like, fist bumped him. And I thought that was good enough or whatever. But then, like, actually getting to interview him,
here's the thing. Here's what made me laugh about this. We've done this several years. We've talked to many celebrities.
Right.
I have never seen you get as starstruck as you did with those 2.
Yeah.
Like, it was funny to me.
Well, now you kind of get to see what it's like for me watching you when you're talking to voice actors.
See, I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
But here's the thing.
It's true.
But here's the thing.
Yeah.
No, wait. Here's the thing. I'm not starstruck with them. Like, I don't get nervous around them. They are, like, some of my idols or heroes, yes. But
is that okay? But that is also because we've talked to them how many years in a row?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Go back and watch like the first interview.
But also the other thing, you immediately called your mom.
I did. I totally did.
Guess who I just talked to?
Yeah.
And you were so giddy.
Yeah.
And
I was.
and yeah, it was like the first time I got to talk to the voice actors. Yes, I was the same way, but I just never seen you that way, and it was funny to me. It was funny. Because usually you're very
poised,
level-headed, very
yep,
calm.
Yep.
But I'd never seen you Star Trek before, and so it was interesting. So we talked to them.
And then we also had our day in court.
Oh, yes. Fandom Court. So this is something they hold every year.
Because the fan was brought to us by Siegfried and Jensen.
Yes.
Even on our press badges, it says down at the bottom.
Siegfried and Jensen.
Yep.
And
so they obviously have like a ginormous booth.
Yes. And it's one of those things you could sign up. Basically, it's a debate, more or less, like in this makeshift courtroom. And you're debating topics.
They actually have some really interesting topics. I wish we would have grabbed, I forgot to grab one of their sheets.
Yeah. But the one we signed up for and were able to get onto was Wonder Woman's origin, whether you keep it as she was made by clay, molded from clay, or she's Zeus's daughter.
Right.
Because her origin has been kind of retconned. And so we were on the Zeus's daughter side.
Yeah. I wasn't necessarily and the point that I was, or the direction that I was wanting to go with it, because he later on, the judge, even told us off the bat that he was on the clay side.
Yeah, the judge.
So I'm like, damn, this,
was a massive Wonder Woman fan.
A couple of Wonder Woman tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Huge one. So we were like, great. Well,
do we even have a chance? I jokingly flashed a 20 in front of him.
Right. So that's one way the deck was stacked against us. The other way the deck was stacked against us was on the opposite side. You had this 9-year-old adorable little girl,
right,
that was arguing for clay, and I'm like, great.
How are we gonna do this?
She's gonna get the sympathy votes, and there's no way we're gonna win this case. So it was me and you, and this other gal.
Yep.
Aspen. Yep. Who was dressed up as Raven. And she came to play.
She did.
At the beginning, we had, we could take a few minutes to jot down some notes. She had several pages.
Yeah.
And so she basically took lead in this whole thing.
She did, yeah. Which I was perfectly fine with.
Yeah.
Especially with it being Wonder Woman and the direction that she went with the arguments where she was talking about, woman empowerment.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
Troy's over there snapping left and right.
Yep. Sing it, girl.
There was a couple of moments where she almost dropped the mic.
Yeah.
It was great.
So it kind of came down to her and this little girl debating women's rights and women's issues and stuff, and how which way Wonder Woman better personifies that. And
I see. I don't like the direction that they went with it in the comics, where Zeus raped somebody to get that.
Sure.
But if Zeus were her father, even if he had a lot of other bastard children, she could overcome that. And then a god, being a god, or part god herself, she could kill other gods.
Right. So that's kind of the argument we had that we went on. Was it wasn't so much of our feelings towards it. It was basically facts.
Yeah.
Look, if she is the daughter of Zeus, there's so much more story that could be told here.
Yeah, you'd be getting battles against her and Hades, or all these other gods.
You could have her become the god of war, or she could take over Mount Olympus. The possibilities are endless when it comes to those stories.
Yeah.
Whereas if she's molded from clay,
you can only go so far.
You can only go so far.
Right. And that was
that was kind of our stand.
Mm-hmm. And it was 80 years ago when that origin story came out.
Yeah. Isn't it time for an upgrade?
But we would also love to hear from our listeners to see where they stand on this argument. I would love to know. We'll have to throw that up on social media.
So here's the thing. The side because they had a jury made up, some people watching, and the jury just had to decide which side won. And the ones that won would get free passes to next year.
Yes.
Well,
for all 3 days, huh?
Yep. Well, I'm happy to say We won.
We did. Which at first Troy was like thinking, oh, let the little girl, let her have it, kind of a deal. But I guess she'd been in quite a few other court cases, and she'd already gotten that.
Yeah, she'd gotten a couple.
So what we might have to do, because we're going to get press passes, I'm already that confident, we're going to get press passes next year. We might have to throw these out as prizes.
Yeah, because we have 2 passes for the entire con.
Right.
All 3 days coming to us, so we might have to give those away.
Mm-hmm.
How we're going to do it, I don't know.
Perhaps by being a Patreon?
Maybe.
We'll see.
Yeah. So that was fun.
Took a couple of pictures from that as well.
Mm-hmm. Which again, we'll post those. Let's see what else.
So that was the good. Let's get to the bad here for a minute.
Bad. Okay. Are you talking about Tom Arnold?
You know it.
Yeah. So every year when we try to go up and talk to these celebrities, and we talked about this last week, you have to sometimes go through their handlers, quote unquote.
Some of them are volunteers, which we appreciate what they do, and for the most part, they're pretty apt to ask the celebrity, kind of lean over, whisper in their ear, hey, can they ask you a couple of questions?
Yeah. And some of them are straight up their agents.
Yes.
Right?
Sitting at the table, asking if you want to buy a selfie, if you want to buy a picture.
Right. And so, okay, we see Tom Arnold sitting there. Guy's been in the business for 30, 40 years.
Yeah.
Right? So we're thinking, we got questions lined up. We're going to ask him,
Which, that's another thing, really quickly. It was difficult this year to come up with really personable questions.
Yeah.
Because I think a little bit had to do with, we would see a celebrity, there's only 2 other people in line, and it's just oh, we better quickly come up with a couple of we like to have well thought out questions.
Yeah.
Have our shit together. We have one question that we're going to ask for sure, and also let them promote any upcoming projects, but we want to have a good question that hasn't been asked a million times.
Right. So with Tom Arnold, we were basically going to ask him, you've worked with so many people over your career, so many big names, is there anybody that you have not worked with yet that you would like to?
Right? Yeah.
Simple question. So we go up there. We run into this woman who's sitting there at his table, and, we give our spiel.
Yep.
We're doing press for the con. We just wondered if we could ask him a couple questions.
She was like, well, we've already done, press for 2, we had 2 interviews from the con.
Yeah.
And then, let's see, because, by default, I'll typically say, hey, we're doing press for the con. We'd like to ask him 1 or 2 questions. And I go from that angle, because then in my mind, it feels like it's a little bit more professional, even though, because not everybody's going to know what a podcast is, or actually hold it on the same caliber as, news reporters, right?
So, yeah. So, after that, it seemed like she didn't, she was asking, essentially, with that, why do we want to do another interview for the con? We've already given 2. So, that's when I popped up and said, is for this podcast that we do.
Right.
But I think you gave her a card.
I did.
Where she basically looked at it.
I almost won that card back.
Yeah, I know.
As many fucking cards as I gave out, I wanted that one back.
She basically looked down her nose at it, said, oh, podcast, we'd have to charge for that.
And I was so close to ask, how much, just to see. But, we'd talked to, who was it that we were talking to about it? And they said that Tom Arnold tries to charge for everything, nickel and dime everybody.
Brandon.
Was it Brandon? Yeah. Not to throw him or get him into any trouble.
Well, we were talking to him, and he's like, I'm not surprised.
Right.
From what I've heard about him, that wasn't a surprise. But here's the other thing.
The dude's a D level celebrity.
Yes.
At best.
And again, there's no one in his line.
No.
It's not like we would take up time.
Even the whole time that we were talking, nobody walked up.
No.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, if she wasn't there, he might have been perfectly fine talking to us.
I believe so, yeah.
That's the frustrating thing with this, is that a lot of times the celebrities will say, And we got this year to say, yeah, oh, okay, that should be fine.
Yeah,
and
like,
then the
or we'll even,
agents
like, we'll talk to the volunteer, and the celebrity will hear, and
Yeah.
then say, yeah, that'll be fine.
say, oh, that'll be fine. Then the agents step in.
Right.
And like, oh, well, we can't do this. No, you'd have to go through these proper channels. And oh my God.
Yeah. that.
And like
definitely.
I told you, it's like, what do you think we're going to say? What do you think we're going to ask?
Right.
Like, who'd you fuck to get to the top? Like, no.
We have legit questions thought out, for sure. We're not TMZ here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We aren't trying to, do any gotcha journalism or anything. Like, we just asked literally 3 questions. Fucking hell. Anyway, so there was that. And that left a really bad taste in our mouth. Like, we were done with the celebrities at that point.
Yeah. Although, when was it that we tried to...
Day 3.
Okay.
So...
that was pretty much that wrapped up like day 2.
Yeah. I will say... this was... well, just one last thing on that. This was a little sneaky thing we did.
Uh-huh.
We went and talked to the voice of Mickey Mouse.
We did.
Brett Ewan. And he wasn't doing press, so we thought, oh, well, you mind if we still go up and say hi? It's like, oh, sure, yeah, that's fine. So I had a little app on my phone. I don't know. Should I tell this? What do you think? Or should I cut this out?
Maybe just our Patreons can hear this part, because they're the ones that are going to hear the interview. I don't know. It's your call.
Maybe a DLC. Maybe we'll talk about this on DLC.
Yeah.
So I'll cut this out and we'll So after Tom Arnold, we just didn't want to deal with celebrities anymore.
No.
So,
which they also, that I thought was kind of interesting. I mean, it made sense, but they had people standing in that celebrity area. It was like a little bit more cornered off to where you had to go through this specific like area. So there was a guy there that was standing there with masks, and he's just like, "Hey, please put that on," or here's one if you need it, like for these celebrities' protection.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't see one celebrity that was there that had on a mask.
No.
I mean, they were perfectly fine talking to everybody else.
There was a few that were behind plexiglass.
Yeah.
And a bunch of hand sanitizer, but no, I didn't see any of them wearing a mask.
No. There was a lot more fist bumps.
Yes. Not a whole lot of shaking hands going on, which is understandable.
Yeah.
So we decided after that just kind of wander around. And I ended up going to...
Troy was like ready to jump in the ring and like punch somebody.
Oh, I was livid. I was so mad.
Yeah.
I was so angry at that woman. So I ended up going back to the Grand Ballroom, and where the Odyssey Dance Theater was performing.
Right.
And they're doing their annual Thriller show, which is basically Halloween themed. And they had several different things they did. When I walked in there, they were doing the actual Thriller dance to the music. They're all dressed as zombies. They had this ancient Egyptian routine they did. They
Walk
had
like an Egyptian? Is that what it was?
No.
Oh, okay.
They had 3 guys dressed up as Jason do this whole little comedic routine along with dance. It was actually pretty funny. And it was really cool. I took several pictures, and it was a good way to calm down.
Recenter.
Yes.
Although you were saying that it wasn't on the caliber of like a ballet.
Right. So I don't know if these guys are professional dancers or not, or maybe they're just kind of
up and coming, like they're almost to that point.
But it seems to me like the dancing could have been a lot more intricate and a lot better choreographed.
Okay.
Because a lot of time when you'll see dancing like ballet or like I don't know, break dancing or something,
like everybody will land and like drop at the exact same moment. There won't be like the thud thud thud.
Yeah. And you think, oh, I don't think I couldn't do that. But with these guys, you're like, yeah, that's not out of reach.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing like ballroom dancing or really anything that was too intricate. I mean, not take away anything that they were doing, but you know, it
was all right.
It was fine.
But at least it helped you calm down.
It did. It did. So that was day 2. Let's move on to day 3.
Yes.
First thing we want to talk about is trying to go and talk to Judith Hoag.
Right.
Now, if you don't know, Judith Hoag was April O'Neil from the first 1990 Ninja Turtles movie.
And she has totally embraced it.
Totally.
Yeah.
Now, this is a seminal film in my life. This is like a touchstone in my life. A milestone. That film, yeah. I would not be the person I am without that movie. So I was thinking, I got to go talk to her.
Oh,
right?
Absolutely.
Well, we go up there the first time.
The volunteer was there.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, I'm not 100% sure. Let me go.
Well, before that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Judith seems like an extremely nice person. She gave people as much time as they wanted to sit there and talk to her.
Honestly, like each person, it was about like 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh,
which was great.
Are you going to talk about that dude?
Yes. Which was great. So we thought, okay, we'll be able to get up there and we'll have a great conversation with her.
And we were only like 4 or 5 people away.
Mm-hmm.
And
the line was small.
Yeah.
We thought this is a perfect opportunity. Then there's a guy that gets behind us.
Hey, he was to the side of us.
To the side of us.
I mean, he was supposed to be behind us. He was behind us in line.
I want to call this guy the world's most annoying man.
Yes.
Because I was ready to punch this guy out.
Which, if you don't know Troy, he's not a violent person.
I am not.
No.
I was so close to telling this guy to fuck off.
Yeah.
Because he, out of the blue, not only was talking to us, but talking to everybody else in line.
I'm pretty sure there was a few screws loose in his head.
There might have been.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because all of a sudden he wanted us to play the Halloween Town theme on our phones.
He kept going and doing it.
Yeah.
Like singing it. Like while she's trying to talk to people, and I saw her look up a couple of times at him, and it's like, what the hell? And then like even the people that were next in line, he was like leaning over them and talking to her about something Titanic shit.
Yeah. Well, he started talking about Debbie Reynolds.
Yeah.
Because Debbie Reynolds was also in Halloween Town with Judith Hoag. And so he's like, what was that musical with Debbie loud.
No.
Loud.
Yeah.
Like, what was that musical that Debbie Reynolds was in?
Wait, would you pull up on your phone the Halloween song?
Yeah, pull that up on your phone.
Halloween Town.
And he asked you said no. Then he asked me, he's like, will you pull that up on your phone? I'm like, no.
No.
Then
the dude stunk.
He stunk.
Like, I could smell him through my mask.
Yeah, that's the thing. We were wearing masks, 1. And 2, my sense of smell still isn't 100%, and I could still smell this dude.
Yeah.
That's how bad
I was really glad that Troy took one for the team, because I was going to talk to the volunteer. And I'm like, Troy, like, I don't want this
I boxed him out.
Yeah, I don't want this dude, like, there. Yeah.
Yeah, I boxed him out. Anyway, so after dealing with that dude, then we get up to the volunteer, and then it becomes a whole thing.
It does. Yeah.
Because the volunteer goes to one person, and that person goes to another, and they're like, what is this? What are you doing? Like, who are you with? Like, we're just doing press for the con. Like, okay, well, hang on. Then at one point, there were 4 people talking about this.
Like, Troy was looking over watching this, and I'm, like, trying to just, like, look down at the pictures and trying to, like, just, like, side glance it, because I didn't want to, like, us both looking over.
And
like,
I kept whispering to you, like, this isn't a good sign. This isn't good. This isn't good.
No.
But during this time, our opportunity to talk to Judith came up.
Right.
So we went over to her, and we started talking to her. She's like, oh, tell me about your podcast.
Yeah.
And
way super sweet.
Way nice.
Way nice. I couldn't for the life of me remember Scooter.
Yeah. You know, I mentioned like 5 times.
Like, Troy,
Scooter.
Because she's nursing a squirrel back to health.
And so she's like, there's people you got to go through to do this, but I don't think it's going to be a problem.
No.
So then they kind of gave us the old heave-ho. They were like, we got to talk to some people. Come back. I'm like, okay, fine.
That's pretty much like a polite, like, go away.
Fuck off.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, during this time, we had spoken to Brandon, and Brandon said, hey, if you guys want, I can get us very close in the Talking Tunes panel. I can get us like right near the front row.
And then Troy's like, well, you know, I mean, I guess.
It's only the panel that I pretty much come to this con for, but
yeah.
Whatever. And so we were able to go to that, and if you don't know,
we were running, we had to run. Like,
we did.
I got pretty damn good at navigating through those crowds there.
So if you don't know what Talking Tunes is, essentially you get all the voice actors together, and they do read through scripts of popular movies.
Right.
Except the characters are played by the cartoon characters that they do, or the impressions they do.
And they hold off on some of the big ones, because they do a couple of different scenes.
Yeah.
And each scene's about 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't sure how long the panel was. Was it like 2 hours?
Hour and a half.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, they milked it for every second.
And it's the panel that completely sells out the entire ballroom.
They were max capacity for this.
And they were doing...
There was other panels and other ones that we would go to where they would ask them, hey, you guys, like, would you scoot forward?
Yeah.
You know,
you can sit wherever you want in this one. Come forward. It's fine.
Yeah. That's when you're like, oh, like, they think that they're grand ballroom, like, status, but then...
Not so much.
No.
So...
This year, they ended up doing Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah. Which was great.
Oh, it was. We even got to hear... Was it Winnie the Pooh or Tigger that swear?
Tigger.
Tigger. Oh, he said, like, bitch. Like, yeah.
Because Jess Harnell was doing Scary Terry from Rick and Morty.
Right.
And every other word is bitch. Right?
Yeah.
And so Jim Cummings was doing Tigger. Then he started saying bitch. And I'm like, oh my gosh. But he was saying, like, you didn't hear that.
You didn't hear it. Yeah.
Nobody heard me say that.
There were some great moments, because I love how they add on to the lines.
Yeah.
And make it their own.
Yeah, you got to.
Right.
But it was so funny. And you can find Talking Tunes on YouTube if you want to go check it out. It's hilarious. So we did that. So afterwards, we kind of wandered around, in and out of different vendor booths. A couple that caught my eye, or at least one, was there was a booth that had animation cells.
Yes.
Right?
That once they're gone, they're gone.
Yeah. So if you don't know what animation cells are, when you watch a cartoon, or at least an old school cartoon, the background is painted by a certain artist. Then the characters themselves are drawn and painted by another artist.
Yes.
So you have one cell, you put it in the scene with the background, take a picture of it, take that cell away, bring another cell in, take a picture of it, and then you play it back at high speed. That's how the character moves and walks and talks. So those cells, there are thousands of them, right?
There really are.
And so that's what they were selling.
For even how many would you say there are for like a 30-minute show or a 20-minute show?
Well, each second is... I could have told you this a little bit ago.
Podcast brain.
Each frame, each second of a cartoon...
Is it 28?
Yes.
Yeah.
So each second is 28 of those animation
frames.
Cells. Yes.
Okay.
So you do the math on that. If it's a half hour and each second is 28 cells, thousands.
Yeah.
Right? And that's what they were selling. And so we were looking through, and it's fascinating to me because I love cartoons. I love animation. And, I mean, we saw original cells from He-Man, from Fantastic Four cartoon, from the Avengers cartoon, from RoboCop. Street Sharks. Just so much stuff. And fairly reasonably priced, honestly.
$5 to $50. There were a couple of them that were like all completely done up, that they were like $200 or $400.
Yeah, there was one that's like framed from a He-Man one that was like $400.
Yes.
But that was like the probably most expensive. But I absolutely loved that booth. We went in and out of booths that had like comic books and action figures.
I'm always on the hunt for a good signed copy of a comic but a comic that I'm really interested in.
Yeah.
They kind of like mean something to me.
Yeah. I swung by the swag booth and bought a new hoodie.
Yeah, which is really cool because it's got delicate arch in it and it's got Spider-Man swinging through the middle of it. Yeah.
Let's see, what are some other booths? We like to go into the artist alley. That's always fun. Just kind of check out what the artists are doing. Because it's fun to see the different types of art. Like you said, we talked about last week, Miles, he likes to do mashups. Other people like to do like giant posters of stuff.
A lot of them will do, like, if there's certain characters that are going to be at the con, they will, kind of pander to them a little bit.
Yeah. And occasionally you'll get like somebody that's like at a certain point was a big deal in animation.
Oh, yeah.
Like we ran into the guy who was the director and animator of He-Man.
Yeah.
Like he was there. Which is always fascinating to me. And a lot of time they're sitting there drawing, which I could sit there and watch for hours.
They're also doing just the commissions for other people, whether it's commissions or just drawing something that they're passionate about. We talked to that painter. She was way cool.
She was cool. Yeah, she was doing a fantasy piece with like dragons and stuff. We talked to her.
They even had a couple of motorcycles set up where it was they do a FanX. Every bike every year.
Yeah, everybody had signed it.
And then you can get it. You can bid on it.
Talk to the Evermore guys about their lawsuit.
Yeah.
That happened with Taylor Swift.
That was really interesting because I kind of wonder about that. We had talked about it on our podcast a couple months ago. And then I'm like, I kind of wonder what happened. And the guy initially, when he was talking, he was using his like voice,
his
accent.
His English accent because he was a knight. Oh, if you ever been to Evermore, you should come by.
And then all of a sudden, it just got dropped.
Yeah, because he asked about the lawsuit. He was like, well, this lawsuit, well, let me tell you, it ended pretty...
like, both sides dropped their... Yeah.
So we talked to them, or some other cool booths that were there.
The Haunted House.
Talked to them. There were guys doing tattoos. Yeah. He had a tattoo of Ray with her nipples poking out.
Was it like $80 or something?
It was like $150, $120.
$120
Yeah, to do a tattoo.
An hour.
Yes.
Like for a session.
Which that's crazy. Like the two tattoos I have were probably... Each one was less than 100. It was like $70, $60.
Well, didn't you get one of them in prison?
Yes. That one was free.
From my lover.
That one was free and forced. I didn't ask for that one. Yeah, it's right over... It's in the small of my back that says mine, and there's an arrow pointing down. But...
A tramp stamp.
So, yeah... and that's part of the fun of this con is seeing these vendor booths and seeing what they got going on and yeah.
They always bring something new to the table.
Yeah. So there's that. We took a lot of cosplay photos of people.
Yeah, a ton of them.
And
Speaking of cosplay.
Yeah. We ran into some pro cosplayers who had some booths there. The cosplay babes, as I like to call them. We were able to interview them. Now, these are women, who some are extremely well endowed.
And cosplay professionally.
Yeah, they're professional cosplayers. They're professional models. They go around doing events and stuff. And we talked to them. Super nice. Super nice gals.
I always feel a little dirty going up there, or like creepy.
You feel like a dirty old man.
Yeah.
You really do.
Yeah. When you go up there and try to...
Well, with us, we had a purpose.
Right.
Other guys there, they were just lingering around and taking pictures.
That one dude, okay, when we went to talk to, I forget her name, the Elvira looking one.
Morticia Adams.
Morticia, that's what it was, yeah. We went up to talk to her. There was that creepy dude that he's just like, hey, hi, I follow you.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I got it, creep. Step aside, please.
Right.
Get back into your van.
But they're super sweet and like
super nice.
Down to earth.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So we interviewed them. Again,
3 of them, I think.
Yeah, we interviewed 3 of them. Let's see.
It's pretty easy. We'll just typically ask like, favorite cosplay and
Yeah.
what are you doing? You
Yeah.
know?
You have any events coming up, stuff like that.
It's crazy the following on like Instagram that some of these ladies have.
Oh yeah. Again, the creepy old men come out.
Yeah.
Oh, these women are showing their boobies, so I'm gonna follow them. Should we talk about him?
Yeah,
we can talk about him. So one of the celebs we were able to go up and have a little conversation with was Caleb McLaughlin from Stranger Things.
Yes.
Who was a pretty cool kid.
We initially asked if we could interview him, and they said, "Hey, he has a deal with like Netflix right now. Nobody else can talk to him." And like that's understandable.
I'm sure he's either started to or in the middle of filming Stranger Things season 4.
Right.
And so I'm sure. Yeah. He probably wasn't doing press for anybody.
No.
Which was fine.
I'm not sure who the dude that was next to him, but he was like way super cool as well.
Oh, yeah.
Talking about Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
That was kind of cool.
I see that, and that's the thing.
And I felt bad because I'm like, that dude was kind of loud. So he was like, had to like finally like kind of lean over to talk to us.
Yeah.
So that Caleb could still talk to the fans. But what were you going to say?
And that's the thing, because that was like the opposite of our Tom Arnold experience.
Right.
Because like with him, we totally understood, like, hey,
you've got a deal, you got a contract, you can't do that.
Like, you can't. Cool. It's not doing any press. Because Netflix said, it's come down from Netflix. Like, all right, that's fine.
Right.
And everybody's booth was totally nice, and so we just went up and talked to him for a little bit.
And I also enjoy like talking to a lot of these volunteers and these other because bless their hearts, they do like a really good job.
Yeah.
And those ones that are working with the celebrities have been around in the biz for the most part for a couple of years.
Yeah.
Right. They've been coming back and volunteering again and again.
Yeah.
So it's also kind of nice to talk to them or the handlers or the people that are running the booth because they've got some funny things to say. Those wine people are hilarious.
Oh, that we're over with Maurice LaMarche?
Yes.
Yeah. Which we'll get to here in a second. But back to Caleb really quick. We went and talked to him.
And even though we couldn't interview him, we said, hey, we're doing like our podcast. Basically had an interview.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Said, hey, there's rumors out there that you could play Miles Morales and stuff. And you basically said, I'd love to.
Right.
I'd love to play Miles, or I'd love to play Static Shock, or, and
yeah.
I think
and that's why I even asked him. I was like, oh, so have you gone back and watched all of Static? And he's like, oh, no, not quite yet.
Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, he was super cool, dude. Let's see.
He does seem like, man, they have to wrap that show up pretty quickly because he seems older.
They're growing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like the Harry Potter thing. Like, they're quickly growing out of those roles. So
yes.
Soon it's going to be, Stranger Things midlife crisis or something.
the college years.
Yeah, Stranger Things the college years.
Like, oh shit, there's ghosts, at Duke.
Yeah. I'm going to skip ahead there for a couple things because we're kind of running a little long here. But
yeah,
you mentioned the food selection. Not a great food selection.
Yeah. It was like basically pizza for the most part. Mm-hmm. They had a couple other booths that were set up. It was like pizza, or it seemed like kind of junk food, or those almonds.
Yeah. I always made sure to eat before I got there.
Same.
Yeah. It seems like they just kind of rely on the food that's usually there at that place anyway.
They do.
Which
is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's not great. Let's talk, before we get to what I really want to talk about, let's talk about stupid people.
Yes.
This con this year was packed to the gills.
Even on Thursday.
Yeah. They said, I was just talking to my mom, she said they had on the news that there was more people that showed up this year than any year previous.
Which I thought
like they were almost
sure
completely
the
sold
pandemic
out.
And also once they were selling tickets, they didn't announce until the very end that they're like, hey, you have to wear masks. Mm-hmm. So I thought for sure that would mean that like it would be a lot slower.
Yeah.
Especially on these first 2 days.
Right. So because of that, because there were so many people, that means there's also a bunch of stupid people.
Right.
Now here's the thing. If you're in this experience, you're in these tight quarters, you're trying to get places, for the love of God, don't just stop right in the middle of the aisle.
Yeah.
That is the dumbest thing you can do. Think of your head as a car. And if you need to stop, pull over.
Yes.
And then stop and do whatever you do. Don't all of a sudden just stop or try to turn around.
I'm a little bit more understanding when it comes to taking a photo with a cosplayer.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Like, but be courteous and be quick about it.
Yeah. I mean, it's a couple seconds and you're done, right?
Right. No, but these people will just stop and just chat.
Yeah. And take up like the whole aisle. I'm like, why are you stupid?
Yeah.
We had an interaction with a Karen. That was fun.
Right, when we were going over to talk to Brandon, or trying to interview Brandon Sanderson, the author.
Because, so we had this line at their table.
And it wrapped around the whole entire place.
Yeah. And so we were over on the opposite side talking to the volunteers to see if we could get some information.
Volunteer didn't know what the hell
he didn't know what.
No.
He didn't know
I'm
shit.
like, so how long is he here for? And you'd already looked it up. That it was like from 5:30 on.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, is it like 5? I had to basically put words in the mouth where I'm like, dude, is it like from 5 to 7? And he's like, yeah, 5, 7.
Yeah. Yeah, he didn't know shit.
Okay. But while we were standing there and while we were talking to him, she's just, that's what she's like said.
So, this lady comes over and she goes, just so you know, the line starts over there.
Yeah, that was that's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
How she sounded.
And you had the best response. Like, you barely acknowledged it. You just looked over and said, we're doing press. Thank you.
And then went back to talk to that guy, yeah.
And she just slowly wandered away.
Like, fuck off. Like, I don't... Yeah.
Oh, that was great. Ah, fucking Karens, man.
Right? We're being considerate. We're not trying... Like, I waited until the guy was done helping the customer in front of him, and he had a free second, so I could ask him, you know, like, how long is he going to be at the booth?
And also, the other thing, just mind your business.
Yeah.
Like, she wasn't even in that line.
No.
She was just passing us.
Right.
Just mind your fucking business.
Yeah.
Like, you don't know who we are. You don't know if we're
Do you know who I am?
You don't know if we're like another exhibitor or working for the con. Like, you don't know.
Yeah.
So shut the fuck up and move on.
Agreed.
Jesus.
The other person that kind of pissed Troy off was the lady that gave you the number. That she said that she was going to come back.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so really quick. We went back to Judith Hoag's booth because I was determined. Determined to talk to her. So we went back, went up to the volunteer, said, hey, do you remember us? Did you get any other information? And she said, 1 sec, let me go check. Okay, here we go again.
At least we didn't have the annoying guy behind us.
Yeah.
But
and so I don't know if it was like a manager or her agent or something came over and basically said, so remind me again what are you guys doing?
Yeah.
Like, we're doing press, you know, for the con and blah, blah, blah. And she said something like, well, typically, you know, it's weird to have press just come right up to the table. Like, you have to usually make appointments and blah, blah, blah. Like, no.
Have you been to the con? No.
Does she do a lot of conventions? Because that's not really the case.
Right.
And just being like super kind of snooty about it.
She was.
Like,
and she's like, do you have a pen? And then like, I was surprised Troy pulled out a pen.
Well, we had been asked twice, like on both days before that, if we had a pen.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm going to get a pen this time.
So she took you down your number.
Said, I got to go talk to a couple people, and if it's okay, we'll give you a call.
So if you get a call from a number you don't recognize, pick up.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Didn't hear a word.
Nope. Like, how about I get you your number and I follow up with you in an hour?
That was so annoying. That whole
Yeah.
Because they all need to be on the same page.
They do. Like, let's have a meeting together.
Yeah. If you get press coming up to your table, either allow them or don't.
Right.
Don't do this whole runaround shit.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we got to talk this person, this person, this person. Like, are you prepared for this? Like, I don't get it.
Right.
Like, why does Judith Hoag have these 4 people, but Edward Furlong over here, we could easily get up to and talk to?
Right. And then why are other people saying that we'd have to charge you for an interview?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, just get on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay.
And rant.
So
and scene.
at this point, we are mentally exhausted. We're physically exhausted.
Right.
We had it up to our balls with these stupid celebrity handlers. Right? We're just done with them.
So we had to go to our tried and true.
So, what we ended up happening was we hadn't been able to get over the voice actors the entire con because the lines were constantly long. And we talked to the guy who's kind of in charge of them, Jeff Zanini, super cool dude. And he basically said, look, if the line is short enough or if there's nobody there and they're willing, by all means, go ahead.
Right. Green lit, just let us do it.
We got the green light. And so finally, day 3, finally winding down, not a lot of people there, like, this is our chance. Let's get over there.
Right.
So we went over first, talked to Jim Cummings.
Yes.
We were able to get up and speak to him. Now, if you don't know, he's the current voice of Winnie the Pooh, Tigger. He was Darkwing Duck. I mean, the list is endless.
Yeah, he's, like, by far, he's got the longest resume of these voice actors.
I mean, the guy is Disney royalty, right?
Oh, absolutely.
And pretty willing to talk to us. How about that?
And also, I felt a little bit like a proud father because I saw Troy take the reins and he walked up to these handlers.
I did!
On all 4 of them.
I did!
Yeah. I was like, oh, this is really nice. Because Troy's just like, hey, just want to ask him a couple questions, you know.
And I said, look, we talked to Jeff Zanini. He said it was okay.
Name dropped. Yep. Yeah, for sure.
And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So we talked to Jim. Super nice dude, of course.
Right.
Did he do... I don't think he went into any voices, did he?
He did. No, he did, because you said, like, one that you don't get all the time.
Yeah. That's one question I was asking him. What's an obscure impression that you do? I can't remember what he did, though. I'd have to go back and watch it. Yeah.
Or you can go watch it if you sign up for Patreon.
Yeah. Or wait till I post them. Who knows when that's going to be.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we talked to him, and it was like, okay, breath of fresh air. Great. So right next to Jim Cummings was Maurice LaMarche. Another incredible voice actor.
Knocked it out of the park.
He's the voice of the Brain from Pinky and the Brain. That's probably what he's best known for. He's on Futurama. Again.
Acting!
Yeah. Massive resume. So we go up, we talk to these, it's like these 4 gals sitting there, and give them the spiel. We talk to Jeff, blah, blah, blah. And like, okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah. And then that girl had like a friend that came over and was just like, hey, I got some wine in my like trunk of my car.
Yeah. So we started talking to those guys about, they were basically alcoholics. And,
yeah, we're going to start like an AA, but it's actually for drinking.
Yeah. We were joking they should do comedians in cars getting drunk and, just...
There's potential. I mean, it wouldn't last long because then, accidents and stuff.
But, that's just the difference between the handlers with the voice actors and the handlers with these other people.
Yeah.
They're just a lot more open and just incredibly nice people.
Oh, Jim like took a selfie with the girl the volunteer there, and like he's like giving her a kiss on the cheek kind of a deal for like a great job.
He said, "Oh, let's do another one." So do another one, and he kissed her on the cheek. I'm like, man, these fucking voice actors—they're just the best. So we got to talk to Maurice LaMarche,
and he had a really good impression. You have to like wait for the interview, but yeah, it was really good.
We were asking what their favorite dessert was, and he mentioned a blue velvet cake.
I'd never heard of that, but I want to try it. Yeah, I really do.
He mentioned there's this place in Studio City that served this amazing blue velvet cake, and if you've seen Maurice LaMarche, he enjoys a dessert or two.
Yeah.
And he'd be the first to say that. And so, yeah, blue velvet, I was like, I gotta try that.
Rob Paulson.
Yep, right next to Maurice was Rob Paulson, my idol, my hero when it comes to voice actors.
Okay, you did get the closest to him. Like you leaned in, dude, like hanging on every word.
I love the man.
Yeah.
I love Rob Paulson.
Yeah.
I listened to his audiobook. He was the first...
His podcast.
His podcast. He was the first voice actor that I ever knew by name.
Yeah.
That I started hearing in other stuff. He's the guy that got me interested in voice acting.
See, you're going to be able to tell this story years down the road.
Mm-hmm. And that's the other thing. We were asking him, a question we were asking everybody else, who was your mentor?
Yeah.
And each one of them said a different voice actor.
They did, yeah. They even, like, Jess has taught me so much. I started, like, in the business right off the bat with Animaniac. Well, Jess was the one that said this, but, like, they were complimenting each other, being all super nice. Yeah.
Because they're just the best people.
Yeah.
So Rob was great. He did Carl Weezer for us.
Yes.
From Jimmy Neutron.
With his croissants.
With his croissant. Croissant. So we talked to him. Again, amazing. And then next to him was Jess Harnell, who's at the con every year.
Oh.
He comes every year.
If the con had a Patronus, it'd probably be Jess.
He's the mascot.
He is.
He's the mascot of FanX. So we go over and talk to him. They had capped off the lane. They weren't doing any more meet and greets.
Right.
So we were talking to the security guard.
And he was way cool.
Super cool, dude.
Like, awesome, dude. I honestly almost asked him, well, if you're not doing it, could your daughter possibly, like, DM for us?
Right.
Right. I thought about that, but, like, will that come across as weird, like, trying to get her to...
Because he was wearing a mask that had dice on him.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, this guy's kind of a nerd. So.
Oh, yeah.
So we started talking to him and...
telling us about all the other jobs and stuff that he also does.
And, said we were doing press, and we talked to Jeff, and, again... said, okay, let me go ask. Went up, and sure enough.
And that was hilarious, is because, like, we'd already dropped his name, and then there was another guy that was, like, trying to get up, and security had stopped him. He's just like, I just need to talk to, like, Jeff, yeah. Like, oh, hey.
Jeff's right over there.
Yeah.
Go talk to him. Which I don't think he was able to get in.
No.
I think Jeff cut him off. But, hey. You win some, you lose some. Sorry, man. So yeah, we were able to get up to Jess's table.
This is the one interview that I think that Troy had the most fun with.
I had a lot of fun with this.
Yeah.
Because Jess is a crazy person.
Oh, he is.
And so we were talking.
He's like, favorite dessert, anything my wife's cooking.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It's spot on impression, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Uncanny.
Thank you. Rock on!
That's closer, yeah. Yeah, so we're asking him the questions we're asking everybody.
And we had like a moment, like even after, like, so we put down the mic, and then he's like, "Oh, I love your shirt, man."
Well, I'm getting to that.
Oh yeah.
I'm getting to that. So we did the mentor, and he talked. He said, "Oh, I gotta say, Rob Paulson,
Jim,
yeah, Animaniacs is the first job I ever had, and Rob took me under his wing and taught me, all that." Like, okay, great, cool. Because he said, "You mind if we keep this brief?"
Right.
And we was like, "Yeah, sure." So we wrapped with the interview, and
oh no, okay, but I do have to say, with the interview, every single question that we asked him, he's like, "Oh, that's a really good question."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I really like that question. Like all 3 fucking times, he was just like, "Oh yeah, that's a really good one."
But kind of pat ourselves on the back for that.
Yeah, that we actually took the time to think of these good ones.
So once we stopped recording, like you were saying, he looked at my shirt. I was wearing my Beatles shirt.
Yes.
He said, I noticed your shirt, man. That's awesome. So
yeah.
I'm like, oh yeah, you like that? So I pulled up my shirt sleeve because I have a Beatles tattoo.
Right.
And he's like, dude, that's awesome, man. And he goes, your favorite Beatles song?
Here, quick.
Don't favorite Beatles song right now. So I told him, he's like, oh man, that's so cool. We started talking Beatles.
Yeah.
and
then I because it was kind of awkward because he like went to like fist bump and then like held my hand for a second, and I'm like, oh, that was like a weird, because it was like one of these kind of like hand half hold kind of a deal. Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
It was like weird. And then I said to him, I'm like, hey, Just so you know, like while we were interviewing all these other guys, Rob said the exact same thing to the same thing to you, that he like had really admired you, and he's like, really, like seriously, like what did he say exactly, kind of a deal. And like I told him, and I'm like, dude, I swear to God, like he did, like he honestly did. He had nothing but the utmost respect for you, and so do we. You know, like shook his hand and
yeah,
we were on cloud 9.
Cloud
dude.
9.
Yeah, maybe even 10.
Because we were just having a shitty time with these celebrities, and then we get over to them, and it's like, boom, 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 right in a row.
All 4 knocked it out of the park.
And they were doing voices for us, and it's just, I say it every year, voice actors are the best. They are the best.
They really are.
There is no ego. There is no pretense. It's just amazing. They are amazing people. And it was the perfect way to end our FanX experience.
It was. And the perfect way to end this episode.
Yes. So, I think that's going to do it for this episode, kids. So, here's where you can find us. You can listen to all of our episodes and see all of our interviews and see all of our pictures from the con at patreon.com/WorldWarG. Sign up for as little as $1 a month. If you just want to listen to our episodes, you can go to worldwarg.podbean.com. On the social media, we're at facebook.com/WorldWarG. We're also on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Just search World War G Podcast. To find our merchandise at tpublic.com. You can also email us anytime,
day or night,
at worldwargpod@gmail.com. So this has been World War G. That has been AJ.
That has been Troy.
Stay geeky, my friends. And
hug a voice actor.
Hug a voice actor.